Doing well. We are going to go ahead and get started in just 1 second. I just want to pull my live up on the other side of the screen as always. So just give me one moment and we will get started and start it off. Okay. As you come in, say hello. I just need to refresh my screen over here. It's not pulling up my live, but I want to make sure we are good. Okay, live button, good to go. Happy Thursday, my friends, and Happy New Year. Welcome back to Template Thursday with Tammy. Today is Thursday, January 8th at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So if you are watching me live during that time, you are live right here on YouTube. Come in and say hello. I know it has been a minute. Good morning, Patty. Good morning, Martha. Happy Thursday, my friends, and happy Template Thursday. Oh my goodness, it has been a minute with our Template Thursday, and I have some exciting new news with the Template Thursday. For those of you that don't know me, hello, my name is Tammy Civello, and welcome to Cards by TLC. And like I said, we are back with our Template Thursday episodes. However, we are actually calling this episode 1 because for the 2026 new year, instead of doing the Mojo Monday sketches like we did towards the end of last year, which I absolutely loved our Mojo Monday sketches, I thought for 2026 it would absolutely be so much fun to create my own templates. So with further ado, we are doing episode 1 of Template Thursday with Tammy with Tammy's sketches. So I'm so excited to be able to create that with you, and I'll pull that up in just a moment. But we're doing the same thing, one sketch, 2 ways. So we have the main orientation sketch, and I'm going to change this up so it's not so ginormous. But I was playing with this and I was just kind of learning the way on PicMonkey to create my own templates. But we are doing the orientation, the original orientation. However, we are doing it. The original just happens to be horizontal this time. So we have our horizontal layout and then we rotate that and we get our vertical layout. So same dimensions, just 2 different ways. I know they're really big. I need to fix this to where they're smaller and easier in frame, but I thought that would be so much fun to be able to create my templates. And that way, you can save them to a Pinterest board. You can print them out and make your own binder like we had been doing. I kind of want to tweak, that's why I kind of wanted to tweak the sizes, because I did like the way we came up with the layout of the binders. My binder is somewhere in the other room and I don't know where it is. Otherwise, I would show you. But we are at least going to get started with that. So I'm excited and I'm happy to bring you along this journey. It's been a long time coming, and honestly, this is me stepping outside of my comfort zone, creating templates. Thank goodness for Patty helping me. Perfect. Thank you, Patty. Patty is my computer guru and my PicMonkey guru, and she is going to help me along the way that we come up with the perfect format for you guys. So thank you, Patty. I really appreciate that. So we are going to go ahead and get started, and we are kicking it off with the brand new January. Oh, I just closed it all up. We are using a brand new bundle out of the January to April mini catalog, and I need to get to page 31 again. Hold on just 1 second. I closed that up. So in the 2026 January to April mini catalog, we're going to be using the Endless Love bundle and the Made with Love suite. So we're going to actually just be using the stamp set of the bundle today. but we're showcasing that designer paper. I absolutely love, and pun intended, this designer paper. This is so cute. It's made with love. It has so many amazing fun patterns. The featured color combos are Bubble Bath, Flirty Flamingo, Poppy Parade, Real Red, and Strawberry Slush. And I think you could even incorporate maybe some pretty and pink in there and make that work. But this is the bundle that we're going to be using today. We are also using the Happy Valentine's Day. And let me just, I'm so excited to be able to show you the inside of the catalog now. Happy Valentine's Day, which is found on page 21. I really love the big, bold sentiment of that. We're going to use that on the inside of the card. So let's go ahead and get started. And we are going to bring back in our first template, which is our template right here. And we are going to start with a 5.5 by 8.5 piece of cardstock, which is going to be our Real Red cardstock. And we scored that at 4 1/4. So like I said, this is our main orientation that we're starting with today. And what I love about this is that just by rotating that orientation, it changes the look of it, but you still have the sizes and dimensions. So nothing changes on the measurements. So we are starting with a 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. We have a basic white piece of stamping our Happy Valentine's Day sentiment on. And this is 4 by 5 1/4. Then we have the background piece of paper here. Let me just go ahead and we'll build this as we talk. This piece is cut at 2 by 5.5, and we're just going to be laying that right there at the bottom. And then our next layer is going to be this 1-inch strip that we're going to angle cut that together. That's going to go right there. And then our banner piece is actually a 1.5-inch banner. You can either cut a 1.5-inch strip and banner it up, or you can use the party banners dies. And the smallest banner is actually 1.5 inches. So this is the perfect size if you happen to have the party banner dies. Otherwise, you can just take a 1.5-inch piece of Real Red cardstock, and that's going to go right there on that. But this is actually going to be on top of it first. So we are going to take this 3 by 4 1/4 piece, and this is what our what the front of our card is going to look like. And then we're going to have our little cute little bow, and then I'm taking the XO from the stamp set and stamping on there. So that is the layout where we're going. Then we're just going to rotate that like so, but of course the fold is going to be on the other side, but this is what it's going to look like when we rotate it. So it kind of gives you a different look, but with the same pieces and all the parts and pieces. Hello, Kathy, welcome in. So let's go ahead and just start gluing down. I think first and foremost, I'm going to go ahead and start by stamping our Happy Valentine's Day. Let's just go ahead and stamp them both since we're doing the exact same thing on both pieces. So we have 2 pieces of basic white at 4 by 5 1/4. And we're going to bring in our really big Happy Valentine's Day sentiment right there. And I'm just using some Real Red ink. Hang on, I got to pull my head down. It's hard to look through the camera, as you know. And it's really big. It takes over a lot. However, if you want to do the other sentiments in the stamp set, you can certainly do so. This just happens to be, I really love the look of this. And you actually have more room when you change the orientation to the vertical. So we need to make sure we're doing that. So it doesn't give you a lot to write a message, but it gives you enough to write a cute little, at least to and from, right? So there is our Happy Valentine's Day on both cards. I just wanted to do that at the same time. We'll put that away for later, but we can go ahead and at least get started. And then on this one, I'm going to stamp the XO in basic black. This just happens to cover up that banner perfectly. I think I need to re-ink my Memento ink. It is time to re-ink that bad boy. Okay. There we go. There's our XO. You could have done it in real red. However, I really liked the boldness of the black. But if you want to do that tone on tone, you can certainly do that. Okay. Let's go ahead and lay down our pieces. Let's get our little template back in. And basically, it's just gluing down and focusing on this amazing designer paper. It's definitely designer paper focused project. Okay. Are we out of glue? Hold, please. I am out of glue. Real live crafting yet once again, friends. Oh, I have missed you. And I came back on Sunday with my fun little collage. If you missed my Sunday collage. And later on today, I'm going to have a second January class opening up that we're going to be creating 2 collages and 3 cards. So be sure to check out my social media. I think I'll have a blog post up in a couple of hours regarding that. So all the details for that will be there. And I'll have further details even on Sunday. So here is our next piece here. We'll just go ahead. This is just a 1-inch strip, and I'm just going to angle cut that. I think this is like 1 by 2.5. It doesn't really matter because it gets hidden anyway. You just want that angle cut. So we're going to come right there at that angle. And that piece is going to go on next, which is going to go right about there. I love how this paper all comes together. And then this is our stripe pattern right there on top. And I love how these 3 patterns worked together. It's not over the top, but it gives you that contrast. And Patty just did an amazing live on talking about the contrast of the patterns and how they work well together. And how you want the light with the dark and the dark with the light. And I really love how these patterns come together, and this layout really encouraged me to play with the patterns, and it's okay to mix up the patterns because you add that solid image here and that kind of breaks it up. So it works and it's not overwhelming for my visual purpose. Okay, then there's a little banner piece is going to go right there. And we have our cute little bubble bath. What is this? 3/8 of an inch faux linen. And we're going to put that little guy right there with a glue dot. I know, Patty, I was watching your live and I wasn't quite sure which patterns I wanted to pull together. And I was like, okay, I like this pattern. I like that pattern. And I was taking your tips and I was watching your live and pulling the patterns that I wanted to use. So thank you for your amazing tip. Okay. And there we have that. And then let's go ahead. We have a 1/2 of an inch piece of the heart designer paper that we're going to just put that at the bottom right here. Just giving it a little bit of extra quote unquote love. Yes, the puns are intended. We'll do this on the inside. And we will have our first card. And if you have the pretty and pink sparkling gems, those would look fantastic on here. I don't have those right now, but if you have those would look fantastic to add a little bit of pink sparkle like up here. But I have those coming to me. I don't have them at the moment. So there is our first layout of the year. And then next up, we have the orientation. We're changing the orientation to have it look like that. But obviously, we're going to flip this around to where the card opens on the other side. And then I have this on the inside. Let's go ahead and do that. And then our 1/2 of an inch piece of DSP. I think I'm going to trim it down to 4 inches and put it at the bottom because the Valentine's Day words are so big. Yay, I'm glad that you guys like it. I am so excited about this. I absolutely love a good template for that creativity block, and I hope that my templates this year will inspire you to get you out of that creative block. That is my goal. Okay, and there we have that. And now we're going to start off with our strip here. And that's going to go right there along that left-hand side. So we'll go ahead and glue that down. Then we're going to go ahead and work on our little angle cuts. Okay. And that's going to go this way. As you can see in the picture, it's going this way. I know. I'm excited that you guys are going to be able to download the templates as well. I think this one's going to be my baby for the year, you know? And then we have our piece of 3" by 4¼ which is going to go right there at the bottom now. And then obviously we have to change the orientation of our letters of our XO. So we got to stamp that still. And this way, the banner is going to go like that. So I'm hoping that the XO will still fit. It should. Oh, yes, it does. Needed to make sure it still fit. So we have our XO. So again, one template, 2 ways, 2 different looks. Here's our XO. And then it's going to go right there. Just like that. And then bring in our glue dot to do our bow right there in that red section. It's simple, but it gives you 2 great cards, 2 different ways with the same measurements, the same dynamic and all of that. What do you guys think? Do you like it? Now these layouts, these 2 layouts will be on my blog post tomorrow, January 9th. Like I said, you can print them out. I will make sure that we have updated kind of versions on my blog post, just so it's easier to print out, download, save as a PDF, save as on a Pinterest board. I'm actually also going to create a Pinterest board as well. But all the supplies that we have used today will also be on my blog post tomorrow at cardsbytlc.com. So please be sure to head on over there. It's really simple. You just click on any of the supplies that you might want to add to your shopping cart. And it takes you directly to my online store. And if you're not working with a demonstrator, I would love to have the opportunity to earn your business and help you out with that. But that is it for me today, my friends. I hope that you all have a wonderful rest of your day. And I hope that you can join me on Sunday at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, where we will be creating new products again. I don't know if we'll be playing with, I think we're playing with the hexagon punch. Patty did a recent live with the hexagon punch, and I absolutely fell in love with it. And you're definitely going to want to join me, because I am bringing a blast from the past on the designer paper. I have not used this designer paper in a while, but it's so pretty. The perennial lavender. So we're going to be playing with this blast from the past with the hexagon punch. So you'll want to join me on Sunday. So thank you all, and I will see you all next time for more creative fun. Bye everyone.